Thokozani Makhosi, Thokozani Abogogo Nabukel, and welcome to Back to Our Roots with Inzunza channel. My name is Mkhulu Modise the Great, and I'm a spiritual and traditional healer who is governed by the Spirit of Inzunza. The channel is for educational purposes in the ways of our ancestors, and it's also meant for anyone who's seeking spiritual awakening, alignment, and activation. It will resonate with those it's meant for, and if not now, may later resonate with you. Makhosi. Okay. If you do like my content, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also put on your notifications when you share on your social platforms, as because this may be needed by someone close to you, or maybe just by you, basically. What I aim to do basically on this channel is to do live shows, also your Q&A sessions, and also because I believe that it would be imperative to invite the spirit so that you can see how it works, because if you have the spirit, I'm sure you've been going through the most, basically. My contact email address is in the description for general topics, questions, or consultation requests, and I will be communicating mostly in English, but I will throw in other languages, a bit of that of Zulu, Tswana, because I am Tswana. Yes, and funny enough, on the platforms, mostly Yadingaga, it's Zulus, Xhosas, never, hardly Tswanas and Sothos are represented, so yay. But anyway, somebody who's open-minded, so I hope I'll be attracting those kind of people who want to learn about the spirit, because it's a mystery spirit, a mysterious spirit, and also it's also very elusive, especially when you have it but you don't even know where to start or who to turn to or what to do. This channel is basically for that. So yeah, I think we can begin. Okay, who is Mkhulu Modise? Let me just share maybe a bit of background. I might not cover everything. Mkhulu Modise is Modise the Great. Let me just mention that, because Lelona Kelavadim, I didn't just put it there for decoration. There's a story behind it, there's meaning behind it, and it's hurtful but also nice at the same time. So bittersweet. Makhosi. Anyway, Mkhulu Modise is from Pretoria, but also grew up in Joburg, and yeah, has traveled almost every province in the country except I think your Northern Cape. I've never been there, but yeah, everywhere else I think I've been, because yeah, the spirit, my spirit Inzunza I am, yeah, it has given me the privilege of moving around a lot, because I had to learn a lot of things. So onto the table I bring a lot of elements and different aspects as to the norm, basically, because there's this ideology that Inzunza, when you have Inzunza, you cannot be using herbs. Mina, for an example, part of my ancestors is Amagela, ke ditshope, didupe, ne ba berekisa dipheko go alafa, and ba sa berekise marapo or anything like that. No ditaola, basically no bones. And because of that, I learned from a very early age, I think around 7, 8 or 9, because I grew up just near forest, near dams, hills, yeah, you name it, your rivers, your waterfalls, they were there. They were like just in front of me all my life. And because of this spirit, I got to be more curious than your average child. So whenever I used to go and explore in those places, whenever I come back, I would just tell the truth. And then, yo, and I would just go, I've been swimming, because they knew the truth, but they didn't tell me, because I think they thought I was just too young. But I kept on doing it time and again until my granddad said, you know what, because this child might get hurt in the forest or in the lakes, let me just maybe teach him. I was young, but I remember that conversation, you understand. So I remember the first day my granddad took me to the forest, teaching me about herbs. I think the first herb egi to dealing yona ke monnamaledi, your African potato. That was the first thing, and I'm talking I was at primary level at that time, so I was very, very young. Fast forward, I was born into a church where we practiced traditional customs openly. We embrace ancestors, and also we embrace God. So there was never any conflict between what I was taught at home and basically what was happening at church. It was almost similar, no? But during that period, on the fast forward, my granny had the same spirit of Inzunza, but she became my mentor, she became my mentor. And during that time, she didn't tell me that I have the spirit of Inzunza, but instead she kept on telling me, teaching me, Hori, you know what, stop complaining to me, stop complaining to nothingness, because your ancestors are always listening to you. she kept on teaching me that thing over and over, and other amazing things which maybe I'll share as we go on to the journey, basically, because there's so much. And I'm not saying that your journey will be like mine, but the thing about Inzunza Spirit, we are all sort of like going through a similar situations, but just in different times, because you might find what I'm going through when you'll face it 5 years down the road. That's why I'm saying that this will resonate with everyone that it's meant for, because there are other people who are on higher levels than you. So basically they're about to finish and manifest the spirit and start working with it, because that's where the magic starts. I would say that most people are like still on the first and second dimension. When you're almost awake, it's like 3 and 4, you're like bouncing between the two, because your visions will be much clearer, they will have messages and stuff, you will even understand. You're almost awakened. But when you're awakened and you have sort of like powers or healing powers within you, that's when you're like on the 5th or the 6th, because above that it's the 7th, and that's when you meet Inzunza. So for many people, they don't even know where they are. Like I said, I was a very, very inquisitive child, a very, very curious child. I studied books, I researched. I love books, guys. I'm an academic, even in my profession, besides my spiritual work. So I used to investigate a lot, learn a lot, and for some reason I just love nature, being near the waters, in the forests, on the mountains, in the oceans. Like that thing, it just came naturally. So depending on how you will connect with your Inzunza, it may vary. You might be based only at the rivers, and you might be based only at the waterfalls. You might be based only at the oceans, or you might be based at the caves, because there are lakes inside of caves. Or you might be just universal, because that's what I am. So that's why I was like pushed and taught all these things. So Kenale Malozi, go high, it's like, yo, ke mix masala. Ho na le disangoma, ho na le ba profeta, ho na le baroka, ho na le ditshupi, like it's a mix. But was gupu sa St. John sa Apostol, because some of the things I experienced, I found out because and something happened. I'm talking about such things. That's when I knew ke connecta le motho ko Apostol. So I do have that ancestor with me, even though right now I'm not attending any church. if you have a universal spirit, I can honestly say that you're most likely gonna be told to leave your whatever church you're in. Ne? It's not always that Inzunza will be based at church. Some people will be told, Hore, leave this church. It's time. You understand? You might be born into the church like myself, but when the time comes, there will be something that tells you that it's time to leave, and you must leave, because this spirit doesn't take nonsense. I might as well just tell you now. It wants somebody who's disciplined, who's praying, who's got faith, and who's willing to put in the work. So if when you're like a crybaby and you think, or if if when you think you're gonna be like a crybaby and sulk, complain, and do whatever, it will allow you to do all those things for years and years, years and years, and then your life will still not get better. Inale swele, Nzunza inale swele. So because there's a hierarchy of this is how I classify God, spirits, ancestors, and whatnot. Né? At the top, there's God, and I call him the universe. I call him Unomhoi, and I only end there. And below him, for me, it's your spirits. And these spirits, they are not human. They're not female or male. Because Inzunza can come to you in any form. And when I'm talking about spirits, I'm talking about your Inzunza, your Abunkosazana, Abunkosana, Abu Mamlambo, like all those things. And Mamlambo is like, yeah. But when you have Inzunza, the secret is you can access all those other spirits, because your spirit is sort of like the general of the army. That's why I'm saying that it wants you to be disciplined and also have love. You must show love towards humanity and nature, like respect people, respect plants, respect animals, because they offer us humans life. And loving someone, it gives them life and also gives you blessings. That's why I'm saying that it gives us life. So, but yeah, I will also like to maybe talk about what is it Inzunza, basically. Because yeah, there's a lot of stories. I researched, guys, but there's a lot of stories as to what is Inzunza, and other people think it's too like there's just so much confusion. But basically, mina, because I'm governed by the Spirit. Angifuni ukukhuluma into, angeke ngikhulume ngento engayazi. I can't talk kadilo tsabo dintwaso and stuff, because I only know basic stuff. But ngenzunza, I'm still walking the journey. even though I'm here now, I'm still walking the journey, because you never stop learning with Inzunza. And you'll understand why in other episodes, because I was given a very huge list of topics to discuss. Yeah, so basically there's a lot, but I'm more excited about the live sessions with you guys. So definitely, but I can only do that if you guys subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I now keep on uploading what I have, and then eventually we will reach that point. But those who are really interested to know more, please, so invite anyone and everyone. It's a learning curve for everyone. Basically, it doesn't cast out anyone, because like I said, I was a church boy, I was a churchist, and so yeah, I will be touching on other things that can maybe better your lives in other ways. But yeah, let's carry on. Inzunza. Inzunza is a spirit, guys. Kisidimo. Nkasere badimo. From what I was taught by Inzunza is that our forefathers, the founding fathers, I'm talking about people who began your surnames, né? Because that's how far I was shown. What they did was they made covenants with these spirits, and these spirits, they've existed ever since creation, and they were just sent here to help human beings against the other side. And I will touch the other side, but it's very controversial. If I'm somebody, like I said, I've been researching, so I did go into Babo Credo Motwa's work. So when I talk about the other side, I'm talking about the other side he mentioned, because they do exist, but another day, another time. Inzunza are like your good spirits. Nah? I won't say angels, because I'd be lying to you. They are shapeshifters. They might appear to you as an angel, as your ancestor, or even as a python, or even as a dragon. Inzunza might appear as any of those things at any given time, just to warn you of something. If it knows that you are attached to umamako, who passed on recently, Inzunza can take a form your mamako and come and tell you or warn you of something that's about to happen. So Inzunza injalo. I think there's somebody on YouTube who once mentioned that ka kereke ya spirit. The spirit can take any form, your ancestor. But I will leave that topic for another day. Inzunza is it's a water spirit. ihlangana kakhulu namanzi, ikopana thata le metsi, like but at the same time it doesn't limit me to what kind. It doesn't only limit me to only a lake or a river or a waterfall. I can go anywhere and metsi ao a mberekela. Even the things le di herbs tse ba nrutileng ka tsona, because once you're a healer and then the spirit has awakened, you are actually given the power to speak life or any instruction to the herbs that you give to your clients, meaning that you can take a liswit or ale alafe motho and ale alafa motho. That's Inzunza. Because to my understanding now that I've went deep, is that I know every ancestor in my bloodline who had Ubu-Ngoma, bo Porofeta, bo Bongaka, bo Tsupie, whatever, Buruti, because I still have those things in my bloodline. Do you understand? Ngaya kerekeng I'd fit in. Ngaya kodisangomeng I'd fit in. Kinzunza mara. When it has manifested, let me warn you, it takes over. Yeah? But all the ancestors that are in your bloodline, if the covenant was done with Inzunza from the beginning, trust you me, all your gifts, tsabo ngoma, tsabo rabedi, tsabo budupe, it's Inzunza. It has been giving different individuals different gifts. So not to me, that's why my focus echo my spirit, because that's where I can see her. That's the origin of my path. We will talk about reincarnation, another topic for another day. Okay, a lot of people often battle with the signs of Inzunza. Ne? How do you know that you are possessed by Inzunza? The most simplest thing I can say is at birth. At birth, yeah, there's what we call hore uzalwe umbethe. Inzunza is in there. They can see your mom, your whoever was there or who saw your birth, they can confirm, basically. Yeah? I will also get into sort of like another episode discussing that. That's why I'm saying that there's so many topics about Inzunza. I will not be able to cover them all in this episode, but definitely, like I said, keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and put your notifications on, because yeah, but I'll try and maybe release episodes in a consistent way so that you may be able to catch up and also form your own sessions basically at home, so that they may help you, because some of us, we had to learn the hard way. At least now you guys have social media. It doesn't, everything is available. You just need to look in the right places. Okay, signs that you have Inzunza. Ne? You will have this sort of like unknown sickness where no one will understand what's wrong with you. Even if you go to the doctor, like no one will suspect anything. The machines will say you're fine. The test will say you're fine. But when yourself, you'll be feeling something, definitely, because I happen to have grown up with something, and yeah, ne ke na le problem ya di-joints. Di-joints tsaka ne di le sort of like weak all my life, from bunyaning, as far as I can remember, until I came across my grandmother, when we started sort of like building that relationship, because yana nearly morapedi, so we didn't really get to see each other that much when I was young. But when I started attending church like seriously, that's when my grandmother was accessible to me. So one of her initiates healed me, and again I will stress this: Inzunza, if unalobogela, you will be healed by herbs, guaranteed. And I'm not talking about dark herbs. I'm talking about just your natural herbs, things you can just find anywhere, because I was healed by something so random. It seemed silly at the time, but when I got healed, I was very, very grateful. So if unenzunza, something like that will definitely happen to you. Another sign is that your dreams, you'll be dreaming about sort of like water spirits, your animal royal spirits, like your lions, your your leopards, things like that. Nah? And the water spirits will be your water spirits will be like your mermaids. By the way, mermaids are like, they're like your, I'm sorry to say this, but they're like your lower level spirit. Anyone who says they've seen a mermaid and what, like osadlala fonna. You're still playing, because there's things beyond that, unless kebelela ka di mermaids in a certain place. That those ones, there's other things I'll never share, by the way, but yeah, there's so many things in this world, guys. So many things. But yeah, your mermaids, you might dream of dolphins and whatnot, or plants under the sea. You might dream of yourself going under the sea, seeing people. There's a world under the sea. Yeah? There's a world under the sea, and good thing it's like mara different sizes, not just the tall ones. There's also short, very old people down there. But yeah, that's when your initiation sort of like starts to begin, if I may say. No? But anyway, you will have a lot of people, they always mistaken this Jesu. You always feel like something is moving in your stomach, in your abdominal area. Momalenga how esiswini sako. I hope I represented everyone. But anyway, those movements, there'll be a lot, especially when you'll be at your final stages. You're gonna feel them a lot. Your back, your lower back, on your waist, the headaches, the heavy shoulders, and I'm sure if you have Inzunza, you have some sort of skin problem, whether it is eczema, you what, you name it, you have it. Allergies, whatnot, you have those if you have Inzunza. And you are a person who doesn't like heat, you would rather spend your time in the winter or somewhere cold or cloudy or Remedies. Like those things, the rain, everything that is like water-like, it will always attract you. When you're young, you'll be very adventurous like I was, but when you turn a certain age, you'll become afraid of water. So a lot of you are afraid of water right now. If you haven't gotten to the dimensions I was talking about earlier, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes, you'll be, there's a dimension there where you're just afraid of water. And guess what? Water gives you life. You're afraid of yourself. You're afraid of your spirit. You're afraid of discovering of who you are. Mara sibambelapo. Another thing you'll experience are your deja vus. You'll always feel like you've seen so many things before. You're somebody who's intelligent. You're somebody with a very, very good heart, and often you're like sort of like taken advantage of. You've been scammed, or just you, even though you know who this person gets a bari, mara, for some reason you feel sorry for them and still allow them to take advantage of you. But anyway, your luck is, it's on and off. Yeah, it's on and off, guys. You will want or pursue something, get it, but when you get it, you somehow lose it or lose interest, something like that. because the spirit, it's sort of like directing your life even from behind the scenes. It will never allow you to do something that it knows it doesn't want or will never be good for you. So whatever rejects you, take it as a blessing. Your spirit doesn't want it, because what is meant for you, trust you me, no one can stop you. No one can stop you. I never applied for jobs in my life. Always got invited. Even now I'm employed. But this one, yeah. But magic happens when something is meant for you. So don't doubt Inzunza. When they tell you that you have Inzunza, if you've consulted and they mention that to you, just know for it. Leave everything and just focus on the spirit. If you really want to have a good life, let me just advise you on that. Leave everything and just focus on the spirit, and then you will see your life be transformed. Makhosi. You'll be sort of like a mysterious character. You'll be moody. You will have sort of like anger issues. Yeah, you'll have sleepwalks or talks. Or maybe just wake up laughing and from a dream, something like that. Those will happen a lot, especially when it's like, early stages. You'll be somebody who likes their own space. You'll be sort of like a mixed personality type, an introvert and also an extrovert, but mostly an introvert. You'll be somebody who doesn't share too much. People, like, they can't figure you out. You can't figure yourself out sometimes. That's what I mean about you being mysterious. Okay. If you have siblings, this one deserves a sip. Amen. You'll be like a black sheep. If you have siblings, you'll be like a black sheep of the family. Nage last born. So yeah. Yeah. You'll be a black sheep. You'll be wild. You'll sort of be like, feel like an old soul, and you'll be like, a lot of things will bore you easily. Like you will love solitude, because in actual fact the spirit loves it when you're spending time on your own, being in your own space, no one else there. It's just you and your thoughts and your feelings and the spirit, because that's when it can show itself to you. Not physically, maybe through your thoughts or your feelings, but you will know what this thought or this feeling or this voice, no, man, it cannot be mine. There'll always be that thing. Nah? Like I said, you will love nature. You will be able to sort of like sense things beforehand. You'll be someone who'll be planning to go to a party or a club or a wedding or something, and then something just tells you don't go. it will just say don't go. Or that day while you wake up or like uvilapha, don't go. Listen to that voice. Don't go. Nah? You must learn to listen to that voice. I will explain in other episodes. Again, there's a subject to that. Basically, you're somebody who can tend to be like emotional. Sometimes you just wanna cry, and even when you're by yourself and nothing bad happened, you just cry. Or maybe, I know people who go at church experience that at church they'll be maybe listening to a hymn, sefela, and then they would just cry. Né? Again, I will explain that. So you're somebody like that. You feel a lot of empathy towards others. Let me breathe. Okay. Personality-wise, you're sort of like a perfectionist. You like leading. There's this drive in you about being a leader. Even if you can be a cleaner, or a manager, yeah, the cleaners. Even if you're like in a business environment, you're gonna want to gun for a CEO or for a partner. Like, that's embedded in your mindset. Because in the beginning I did say Inzunza is the general. It's the general. So one day I will explain why. I did say there's Inzunza, Bonkosana, Nkosazana, what. Like, why is it the general? I will explain that. And what authority it has. Topic for another day. But anyway, when it comes to relationships, I'm sure Mojolo yes, no doubt. Nah? It's either you're like on and off, fat and sad, one night stand. You're like on that tip. Nothing lasts. Even if we have this tendency, you know what? This person will change. I'm not laughing. But yeah, I'm not laughing. You just have faith in relationships. And then another kick is, if you haven't lost, you will still gonna be losing sort of like the things you love, the things you think you love right now. Like your car, you might be losing your car, your marriage, your kids. And then the most horrific thing that happens to females is abuse and the rapes. And I'm not saying that abuse and the rapes don't happen to the men, because they do. When you have the spirit, you will be somebody who will be going through some sort of trauma at some point in your life, where you'll be like, what the hell? it will happen or it has happened. If you, oh, I forgot to mention, Inzunza, ne? It's actually a spirit that is activated by time, maturity, and what else? There's 3. It's maturity, time, and age. Yes. A lot of people, maybe you might have found out who you have Inzunza, and then you think, it's going to manifest like now. No, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. It will happen on its own time. It's a spirit that you cannot control, you cannot conduct, you cannot give orders to. It leads you, it leads your life. So you must be somebody who's ready to be accepting. So unfortunately, Barry, it's the bad times that teach humanity when to be humble and prayerful. So it's the hardships that actually sort of like shape us to be who we are. That's why they say, whatever happened in your past, it happened for a reason. It made you who you are today. So you must be somebody with a story. Unless there's like a very, very short percentage of people who didn't experience any pain or hurt when they have an Inzunza spirit. That's a fact. Everyone will be telling you, I lost my marriage, I can't have kids, I lost my kids, I lost my family. Like there'll always be stories, witchcraft, you name it. Like somebody, as a person who has Inzunza spirit, you will see the commotion in your life. It will scare you so much and you will hit rock bottom. There was a point where I had like zero in my bank balance, and I didn't have a plan, and I didn't know where to go or who to talk to. And I was like, damn. And guess what? The very same person, I've traveled the whole world, I've had amazing jobs, I've had nice cars, I've had the life many people dream about. I've had it. So, but yeah, we'll share that on another episode, guys. There's so much. Let me finish this. You'll always be sort of like a lucky person. There'll be some sort of healing about you. You'll be able to like sort of like pray for people and things happen. And or you give them something, it works out. You say something, it happens. You'll be that person. You'll be sort of like a go-to person for a lot of people. Another thing is you'll be creative, focused, very prayerful. You'll be somebody who always questions God. Why you're here? What's your purpose? Like, you'll always wonder about the universe. Yeah, and then you'll see that like mystical creatures. Um, you might even see planets, but somehow you still ignore, you know. And oh, another thing is you might be able to see like spirits you don't know, basically, or ancestors or people in dreams you don't know, you've never seen, you've never met. But one day you will meet those people, so you need to sort of like have a way to record your dreams, because your dreams are like your tool, mostly your visions, your dreams. I'll repeat. But anyway, uh, let me just stop here and I'll do a part 2 for this. Thokozani Makhosi. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and put on notifications if you do want to see more of my content. Amen.